feeling, right? That sort of constant hum, always pushing us to chase the next big thing.
Oh, definitely. The next promotion, maybe a new car, or that, huge opportunity that feels like it's just around the corner.
Exactly. It's like we're taught, almost conditioned, to believe that real happiness, real fulfillment, it's always somewhere in the future, just out of reach.
It's a narrative you hear everywhere, isn't it? And it creates this interesting paradox. We spend so much time and energy focused on what we don't have
Right.
that we completely miss the incredible value in what's already here, what we possess right now.
And that is spot on with the materials you shared with us, that collection of articles and research. It really challenges that whole mindset.
Hmm.
So our mission today in this deep dive is to really get into your material and unpack its pretty surprising perspective,
Yeah.
which is, what if the biggest gift isn't somewhere down the road? What if it's right here?
Yeah, what if it's now?
Exactly. We'll be digging into these compelling behavioral studies you found and some insights into mindful living. And they all seem to point to this idea that the most fulfilled people, they're not always the ones with the most stuff.
No, not at all. It's often the people who really embrace and creatively use what they already have right now in the present.
Their current resources, relationships, opportunities, all of it.
That's it. And hopefully this deep dive will help us all, shift that focus a bit, move away from constantly striving for what's missing.
And start appreciating, maybe even leveraging what's already in our hands.
Precisely. It's about seeing the real power, the profound power that exists in the present moment.
Okay, so let's dive in. Your sources touched on some really relatable everyday areas. Let's start with something huge for most people.
Right.
Our jobs.
Right.
Yeah. So many of us are stuck wishing for a better job, More money, maybe a different boss, better perks. But the material you sent suggests we can actually genuinely reframe our current work. How does that work beyond just, telling ourselves, be grateful?
That's a great question because it's more active than just gratitude. Your sources talk a lot about something called job crafting. Have you heard of that?
A little, but explain it more.
Sure. So it's not just about appreciating your job. It's about actively shaping it, making it fit your strengths, your passions, maybe even your core values better.
Okay. So you're not just waiting for the perfect job to land in your lap.
Exactly. You're seeing your current role more like a dynamic canvas, something you can work with.
So give an example, like if I feel stuck.
Okay, well, say you feel your role is a bit limited. Could you maybe volunteer for a new project that interests you? Or find a process you could optimize, make it more efficient.
Or maybe even mentor someone.
Yeah, anything that expands the scope a bit, connects it more to what you care about or what you're good at. It's about taking initiative within the role you have.
That makes a lot of sense. It's proactive, isn't it? Not just passive waiting.
Right.
Okay, so moving on from careers, your sources also had a surprising take on relationships. Another area where we often feel like we're lacking something.
It's easy to feel that way.
Yeah, you scroll through social media and maybe you feel like you need, deeper friendships, or you're searching for that perfect partner. What did the material say about our existing connections?
Well, it really puts the emphasis on what it calls relationship enrichment. The argument is that the connections that can be truly transformative are often the ones we kind of take for granted.
The one's already there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's less about wishing for new people to come into your life and more about actively investing in the ones who are already there. The friends who check in, the family who supports you, maybe even colleagues who make work a bit better.
How do you invest, though, practically?
Well, one study in your source material mentioned something really simple, just dedicating, say, 15 minutes a week. A proper check-in with an existing friend, going beyond just the usual, hey, how are you?
Just 15 minutes.
Yeah. And it found that significantly boosts feelings of connection, reduces loneliness for both people involved. It's about building depth where you are, not constantly searching elsewhere for some ideal connection.
That's really practical. Depth, not just breadth.
Okay.
And speaking of building from where you are, let's talk skills. This is another big one.
Skills gap, right?
Totally. In a world where everyone seems to be showcasing amazing talents, it's so easy to feel inadequate. Like, I wish I had those skills. How do the sources suggest we leverage the abilities we currently have?
They're pretty clear on this point. Instead of, getting bogged down, lamenting what you don't know, they push for what's termed skill compounding.
Skill compounding, like interest.
Kind of. It's about using your existing skills, even if they seem basic, as foundational blocks. You build on them. Let's say you want to learn coding, right? Big goal. But maybe all you really know now is basic spreadsheet stuff, like Excel.
Yeah. Okay.
So the sources would suggest starting there. Could you automate some simple task in Excel first? Use the skills you have.
Ah, I see. So that's small success.
Exactly. It builds a bit of confidence, it refines your thinking, your problem solving, and it's a direct step towards the bigger goal. It's recognizing that, look, every expert started somewhere. They got there by consistently using and building on whatever they knew at the beginning.
So making progress with the tools you've got rather than waiting for some magic new talent to just appear.
You've got it.
Okay. What about something really tangible like money? So many people feel financial freedom is tied to hitting some future number, right? Earning a certain amount, often way more than they do now. It's always a milestone down the road.
Yeah, and this is where some of those behavioral economics insights in your sources are really fascinating.
How so?
They argue that real financial progress doesn't actually start when you hit that big future income goal. It starts with how you manage what you have right now.
Even if it's not much.
Even if it's modest, yes. It's less about the absolute dollars in the bank and more about cultivating financial mindfulness.
Financial mindfulness.
Because it just means really paying attention, knowing where your money is going, not just daydreaming about where you wish it would go, learning to budget, save, invest wisely, even with your current income.
That builds the habits.
Exactly. Those habits are the foundation for handling more wealth later. It's the daily discipline with what you have now that truly compounds over time, not waiting for a windfall.
That's a really powerful shift. It's almost like the sources are saying, don't wait until you own a yacht to learn how to sail.
Yeah, basically. Learn to sail your rowboat really, really well first.
Okay, love that. And finally, health, another big one. How many times have we all thought, oh, I'll start eating better when things calm down, or I'll exercise once I join that fancy gym?
All the time. And the sources are quite firm here. They emphasize something like the momentum principle for health.
Momentum principle.
Yeah. The idea is that your current health, whatever state it's in right now, that's your starting point. That's your greatest asset today. You don't need fancy equipment or a perfect schedule to just take a 10-minute walk.
Yeah, or do a few stretches.
Or make one slightly healthier food choice today, just one. The research shows that these small, consistent actions done right now build momentum. They build self-efficacy, that feeling that you can do it.
And that leads to bigger changes later.
Much more effectively than waiting for some perfect future condition to start. It's about starting now with what you've got, because that present capacity, that's the real gift. It's already yours.
Wow. Okay, so bringing this all together, what does this mean for actually shifting our perspective, moving beyond just hearing these cool ideas to, living them?
Well, it really comes back to that core insight from all the material you looked at. Maximizing what you have now, in the present, undeniably leads to a better, more fulfilling future.
So when you do the job crafting,
Yeah, or you enrich those existing relationships.
compound your skills, practice that financial mindfulness.
Use the momentum principle for health. You're not just passively waiting for good things to happen. You are actively creating the conditions for them.
Right. You're building the future you want with the bricks you have today.
Beautifully put. Happiness isn't something you chase and finally catch way off in the distance. It's found right here, right now, in how intentionally you use what's already yours.
Okay, so let's just really drive that home. The central theme from the material we've dived into today. The greatest gift you possess isn't what might come next.
Nope. It's what is already, right now, in your hands.
Your current job, those people already in your life, the skills you have right now, your financial situation today, your health as it is.
Exactly. These aren't just stepping stones to something better later. They are tangible gifts, right now, waiting to be fully unwrapped, fully used.
And the powerful idea is that the more you appreciate and really maximize today,
The more fulfilling, the more rewarding your future is actually likely to be. It flows directly from present action.
So the final thought, maybe the challenge for everyone listening, before you jump to chase that next shiny object, that next big thing.
Yeah, just pause, take a moment, and really think about how you can fully embrace, fully make the most of what you have right now. Because that, fundamentally, is where real success, real happiness actually lies.
So what's one small, consistent action, maybe inspired by one of these ideas like job crafting or skill compounding?
Yeah.
What's one thing you could do today to start truly unwrapping and maximizing one of those gifts you already have?